Hey, Morriah, what's going on? Rob Cesternino. Good morning. So sad to see you go because I feel like that we missed out on getting a very fun personality in more episodes of this season.
Aw, thanks, Rob.
I really want to know about this tribal council because I have so many questions about how it all played out. I really wanted to know, was this a total blindside for you, or did you have some suspicions that things might not be going that great?
Going into tribal council, I didn't have too many suspicions. I had a tiny gut feeling, but I kept telling myself, no, I'm going to stick with this women's alliance and with Sami because it's what makes the most sense. I'm going to trust them because I don't want to be a paranoid player. But then when we got into tribal council, I definitely did feel a shift. And so in my gut, I did know it was me. By the time Jeff said, I'm going to go grab the votes, I was thinking about what I was going to say in my final remarks. So
So
yeah, not a complete blindside.
after the challenge, Gabler came back and said, "Hey, you know what? I got to fall on my sword. I'm going to play the shot in the dark." And it seemed like that ended up getting sort of like thrown out. That idea. Was there some talk from other people to try to like okay, well, you got to do it, Gabler.
Um, no, I think everyone was genuinely just confused. And for me, I wasn't sure if Gabler was just a complete wild card or if he was trying to dupe us, but I just didn't believe it because it didn't make any sense. And I think I didn't hear any talks about trying to talk Gabler into playing it or to not play it. I didn't hear any talks about that. It was all just everyone's like, Gabler, what are you talking about? I think we were just all kind of really confused.
Morriah, I want to go back to something you said at Tribal Council about how there was some talk about Janine had said, okay, well, it's like, you're dating somebody and you're texting, and you were asked about if you what you got back from your text. You said that I've got back some emoji, and we don't need to talk about emoji too much on this podcast, but was that sort of a sign that you felt like that you weren't getting back to what you were putting out, like in reciprocal response?
No, I think what I was trying to do was not give away too much who my people were. So I think I just was trying to protect the fact that I had an alliance. So I didn't want to confirm that I did have one. So I was just trying to answer in a cheeky way. But
Hmm.
I definitely did feel when I made the alliance with Janine and with Ellie and with Sami that it was true when it was made. I didn't feel when we made the alliance that I was unsure of it. I trusted it. I believed in it. But when we got to tribal council, I just didn't want to flat out say, oh, yeah, I have an alliance, because then I felt like that would have just blown up tribal council and made it a little bit more dramatic than what we wanted it to be.
From your perspective, when you got voted out, why did you feel like the tribe voted against you at that first vote?
I think we had different mindsets. I think that I really wanted the tribe to be in this uplifting place and keep the tribe motivated and let's stay positive and let's stay kumbaya. And I think everyone at that point was ready to play a really cutthroat game. Everyone just wanted to start being strategic and strategizing. And I kind of was like, we're not there yet. Like, let's keep this tribe unity going because we got this, Baka. And so I think that it was just a different shift in motives and mindset. And I felt like I was kind of rearing away from where the tribe wanted to go.
Yeah, Mariah, I think you're so interesting because you come into the game and you said, I am here to make friends. And you really came in with sort of like maybe like a different mindset than I think that most people come into Survivor with. And then, it's like, hey, I got to really start playing the game. That did you feel like that really was at odds with where a lot of players were coming into season 43?
Not with Baka. I kind of really, and even now, I feel like I was placed on the right tribe with the right people. We had incredible chemistry. Like we truly were a family. And the first couple of days were really kumbaya. And so I did feel like when we first started together, we all were in the same place and we all did have that mindset. I just feel like maybe I wasn't quick enough with the shift.
Yeah.
I feel like I took a little bit of time to get there. Like I was just like, I like this comfy place, y'all. Like, let's stay here. And everyone was like, no, get out the bed. So I think that I was just a little bit too late getting off the train, the Kumbaya train. I missed my
Yeah.
stop.
Well, there was so much in the episode. Okay, Baka is Kumbaya tribe, and that's how it was. Was that your experience with everybody there on those couple days?
Yeah, most definitely. Like when I got put on the Baka tribe and we were there for the first couple of days, I was like, yes, casting. Like you got some incredible, extraordinary human beings on this tribe. No one was bumping heads. Everyone got along really well. We worked really well together. We had incredible conversations, and all the connections that we made were really genuine and true. So when we lost that challenge, it was devastating because it was like, who do we have to send home? Like I love everybody. Like who's
Yeah.
going home? Like it was truly devastating and really a tough call. And whether it was me or anyone else, I think the outcome would have been devastating to see any Baka member go, because we truly did love one another.
Yeah, I know it's really hard in these very small tribes, and there's good and bad to it, but it's really tough spot for everybody when you lose that first challenge. I would love to know from you. Now, you got to watch the episode, and so when people were talking about why vote for Morriah, a couple different players had said, okay, well, Morriah, she's the weakest in the challenges, and she's holding us back in the challenges. But I went back and I watched the immunity challenge again, and I noticed that you were the person that got across the balance beam and got everybody else across. And so I wanted to know if you thought that that was fair to be characterized in that way.
I don't know if I would use the word fair or unfair. I think that is their perception of me and what they thought to be true. And so I hate to try to change people's perception. If you see me as the weakest, I'm not going to take that from you. But it didn't sting, it didn't hurt me, because I don't find that to be true. I know that I'm not the weakest. And I don't think anybody on our tribe was necessarily the weakest or the strongest. That's just not how I view people. I think that everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses. And I think that it depends on the challenge. Like there might be a challenge where brute strength is an important thing. So in that case, Sami might be the person who needs to be there. It might be a challenge where you need to be agile or have balance. In the case of me going across the balance beam, so then I'm the strongest. It might be a puzzle. So then it, depending on what the challenge is, depends on the strength that we need in that moment. And so I don't think anybody on our tribe was the weakest, but it also didn't hurt me that that's how they viewed me, because that's what they thought to be true. And they thought that it was best for their game to get rid of me. So I'm just happy that they stood behind their words and they did what they thought would get them further.
So I saw that you had a connection with Sami based on what we saw in the episode. What was it about Sami that you really connected with?
Sami just has the same level of energy as me. When I first met Sami, it was interesting. I thought he was going to be the most serious out of all of us, and it was like the complete opposite. Like he really brought this like cool energy, cool vibes. I was like, wow, Sami is somebody who I would really hang out with in real life. He was just super cool and down to earth. Did not know that he was a kid. But I was just really worried about being the person on my tribe that was just blah, like too all over the place, too energetic, too crazy. And the tribe was going to be like, this is a lot. But a lot of moments, Sami had those moments. And so I was like, this is cool. Like, you're just like me. And so just in terms of vibing with someone and having like somebody there who can match my energy level and bring the fun was really cool to have.
Right. Was there a lot of people looking for the idol and advantages that you saw on Baka?
Not that I saw other people, but me and the girls got together and we did go idol hunting together. Me, Janine, and Ellie. It was like a day when the boys stayed at camp and they were building shelter. And me and the girls like, we're gonna go get bamboo so you guys can continue to build. And then we like went on a full-on idol hunt together. And then we would take breaks and bring bamboo back, and then we would go back out and do idol hunting. So there definitely was idol hunting coming from the women. I don't know if any of the guys went idol hunting. I presume that they did, because I think when people play Survivor, you should probably go look for idols.
Mhm.
But me and the ladies definitely did it together. We were like in trees, digging, flipping rocks over. So yeah, we did some of that.
Okay, so you mentioned the women and working together. I know a lot of people get excited when we see, okay, the women are going to work together, and then it's very frustrating when that doesn't end up holding together. How disappointing was it for you to not see the women able to stick together for the first vote?
It was really disappointing for me because that's just something that gameplay Morriah wanted and real life Morriah wanted, like outside the game. I just think that it is a beautiful thing when you see women come together and get far together. So for me, I was like, I really want this woman alliance, not only because I thought it was the smartest choice, like strategically, I'm like, ladies, this makes the most sense. Sami's gonna come with us. We have a 4, like, let's do it. But it also was like, not only is this something will be cool to see on TV, it's something that I feel like the world needs. Like, we need to see women get far in Survivor. We need to show them that we can make it on our own and that we don't need a whole bunch of men to drag us to the end. Like, let's do this. So it was really devastating that we weren't able to hold out and that the women's alliance got broken up on episode 1, because I think it would have been effing fantastic to see a women's alliance stay true. It just would have been really beautiful.
Do you think that there's anything that you could have said to Ellie or Janine in hindsight that would have made them go with your plan?
In retrospect, no. Once I saw Ellie, that girl was determined. She was determined. She had made up her mind. I think if I had caught word of Ellie trying to get rid of me, then there's probably things I could have done to make myself stayed and maybe did a little bit more scrambling and started making connections with other people. But I think with me going into tribal, holding on to this idea of having a strong women's alliance and not knowing that Ellie was throwing my name under the bus, there was nothing that I could have said.
Yeah.
Maybe if I would have been tipped off, it would have been something I could do, but I wasn't advocating for myself because I didn't know I needed to be advocating for myself. So
Sure.
in retrospect, with the way things played out, I think I did everything that I could have done.
Morriah, at the end of the episode, in your final words, you talked about how that you wish that you had played like you were playing your second time and not playing like your first time. What did you mean by that?
I just had a gut feeling. Like, there were a lot of things in tribal council. Like when I went up to write Owen's name, I had a moment where I was like, I had this gut feeling, should I play my shot in the dark? And so I toyed with that idea a little bit before writing Owen's name down. And in retrospect, like sometimes I have like dreams about it where I see myself just like, does anyone have an advantage? And I'm like pulling it out of my like kangaroo pouch in my overalls. And I'm like, here you go, Jeff. And Jeff unrolls it and it says safe. It's like, I feel like that's the type of things that people do when they play their second time, because they're like, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to take this risk and just screw it all. We'll see what happens. But I feel like by me saying I'm going to stay true to my alliance, and I said I'm going to write Owen's name down, I'm going to write it down, that small, possibility, even though it's a small 1 in 6 shot, I didn't do because I was playing like it was my first time. And I think maybe I could have even shooken up tribal council a little bit more. Like sometimes I'm like, maybe I should have been like, well, Jeff, we already know who's going home, ladies. Do you just want to tell Owen now? Like, I don't know, like maybe I could have did that if it was my second time. So, and then Owen would have been like, what? And then, we would have went from there. So, but yeah.
Yeah, Morriah, believe it or not, I can very much relate to what you're talking about. Okay. Do you have any fun stories that we didn't get to see from your time at Baka?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I really wish would have been shown was the fire. So when we first lost the challenge and we came back and we knew we were going to tribal, before we even started strategizing, before we even started scrambling and talking to one another, we all got around the campfire and we literally breathed life into it. Jeff had confiscated our flint as a penalty. And so we no longer had a fire, was completely gone. So it was that moment where Ellie said, let's put a pin in this and work on the fire. And we all got around the fire, circled up, was breathing life into it, blowing on embers. And we really brought it back to life. And for me, I wish that that moment would have been shown to the world, because I felt like it really encapsulated the essence of the Baka tribe. Even though we knew one of us were going home, none of us wanted our tribe mates to come back and be without fire. And so we all took that moment before we started scrambling and strategizing to make sure that we breathed life back into it. And I thought that that was just such a beautiful way to end our day back at camp before one of us went home.
Morriah, is there anybody from the Baka tribe that you wouldn't want to have pizza and coffee with now after the game?
No, I think I'll say this. I want to still grab pizza and coffee with everyone on the Baka tribe. I just would like them to pay for me since I
They should. That's the least they
like
can do.
I just feel like everyone should chip in a little bit, and it should be coffee on Baka for Morriah.
At the very least. And is it coffee and pizza at the same time, or is it pizza and then coffee?
You know, I meant to say it separately, like coffee and pizza is like two separate meals. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it actually might be something I want to try. Maybe it won't be too bad. Like a slice of pepperoni pizza, you got the crust, gnaw on the crust, and then a sip of the coffee. It might be good. So.
Okay. All right. Well, if I'm ever in Philly, then let's give it a try. Okay, Morriah?
I'm gonna hold you to that. Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I wore a very colorful shirt for you today.
That's not colorful, Rob.
For me, it is. Okay. All right. Morriah, so nice to get to talk to you. All the best outside of Survivor, okay?
Thank you, Rob. Have a good day.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.